مرحبا يا طلاب. So I'm going to explain now 5.4 of your book. So صفحة 30 بالكتاب. Counting and saying how old you are. So how do you count with a noun? We've learned the numbers. We've learned many nouns. Now we're going to learn how to count, like to say 5 books, 12 lessons, 15 days, stuff like this. There are special rules in Arabic for this. So follow with me with your book. The vocabulary you have to learn. You have one column is the singular, one column is the dual, and the third column is the plural. Why is that? Because the plural in Arabic starts as of 3, not as of 2. 2 is called dual in Arabic. So anything you want to count 2 of, you use the dual form. You don't use the number itnain. However, you put tain or in at the end of the noun. For example, look at the red table. You have year is sana. 2 years, the dual, sanatain. Okay, so sana, tain. I put tain because the sana finishes with ta marbuta, so it becomes tain. So you don't say tnain sana, but you say sanatain. Plural is irregular. Plurals in Arabic are mostly irregular. You just have to learn them by heart. Plural of sana in Fusha is sanawat. In colloquial Arabic, you say sine is 1, 2 years is sintain, and plural is snin. Book is kitab, 2 books is kitabain, and plural is kutub. So as of 3, it's kutub. Student is talib, 2 students is talibain, and plural is tullab. How to count one thing, like if you want to say 1 book, 1 year, 1 lesson, okay? Usually you don't need the number. You can just say, look at colloquial. You can just say kitab. Let's say you want 1 book, you say بدي كتاب. If you want to say how long have you lived here, قديش أنت ساكن هون, بتقول سنة. Okay, you don't need to use واحد. However, you can use واحد just to emphasize, to say كتاب واحد, like I only want 1 book, not more. Okay, so the واحد is used for emphasis in this case. With سنة, it would be وحدة, because you have to adjust واحد to make it feminine, because سنة is a feminine word. So you say سنة وحدة, but you don't have to, you can just say سنة. 1 lesson is درس واحد. Let's say you want to say we only have 1 lesson left. بس عنا درس واحد. Okay? In MSA, same thing. 1 book is كتاب واحد. 1 year is سنة واحدة. And 1 lesson is درس واحد. So this is counting 1. Now, how do you count 2? As I said before, you use the dual form, which is you put in at the end of the noun if the noun is masculine, and you put tain at the end of the noun if now the noun is feminine. So it finishes with ta marbuta. Let's look at the examples in your book. 2 students, and let's start with colloquial. 2 students, 1 student we said is talib. 2 students, talibain. Talib is masculine, so I added in at the end of the word. I didn't use itnain talib. I never say itnain talib. Talibain, 2 students. In MSA, you have 2 cases. Okay, you have the nominative, then you would put an at the end of talib, and for the accusative and the genitive, you put ain. Okay, fortunately, you don't need to do this when you talk. In spoken Arabic, it's always in. You don't need to think of case endings. All you need to do in this case, in MSA, is to understand if you hear Taliban or Talibain, that both mean two students. There's no difference in meaning of both words. Taliban and Talibain mean two students. One is nominative, one is accusative or genitive. That's it. But that's not very important for you. For you, it's important to know how to translate it from Arabic to English. 2 years. Colloquial dialect is سنتين, because سنة finishes with ta marbuta. I added ten at the end of the word as a suffix. سنتين. In MSA, I also have two cases. The nominative would be سنتان, and the accusative and the genitive سنتين. Again, what do you need to know is if you read سنتان or سنتين, you translate them to 2 years. That's all you need to know. Let's go to صفحة 31. Counting nouns from 3 to 10. Why 10? Yes, because in Arabic, you only use the plural of the noun until and including 10. After 10, you go back to singular. Okay, that's why we have a separate section for counting from 3 to 10. So counting from 3, including 10, 4, 5, 6, until 10 and including 10, you use the plural of the noun. So 3 years is 3 سنين. Start at colloquial dialect. Because the plural of سنة is سنين, so you say 3 سنين. What if it's 4 years? 4 سنين, 5 سنين, 6 سنين, 7 سنين, 8 سنين, 9 سنين, 10 سنين. Until 10, you use سنين, the plural. In MSA, بالفصحى, you use سنوات, because that's the plural of سنة. 3 سنوات, 4 سنوات, 5 سنوات, 6 سنوات, exactly like this until and including 10 سنوات. Let's take lessons, which is singular ders, plural is دروس. 5 lessons would be 5 دروس. 7 lessons would be 7 دروس. 8 دروس, 9 دروس, 10 دروس, until 10. Okay, same in بالفصحى. So counting from 3 up to and including 10, you use the plural of the noun. Next one, 4, counting as of 11. Counting as of 11, you go back to singular. So 11 years would be in colloquial Arabic 11 سنة. 12 years 12 سنة. 20 years 20 سنة. 30 سنة, 100 سنة, 1000 سنة, 1000 years. Okay, it doesn't matter, you use singular. So as of 11, you go back to singular. 11 years بالفصحى in MSA 11 سنة. 25 years is in colloquial Arabic 25 سنة. in فصحى بالفصحى 25 سنة. 12 lessons would be 12 درس in colloquial. 12 درس بالفصحى. So as you saw in all these examples, 11 years, 25 years, and 12 lessons, I've used the singular noun with the number. That's it. These are the rules. So to recap, if you're counting one thing, you don't need to use the number one. You can just use the noun by itself. Dars, sene, kitab. Unless you want to emphasize, you want to say one book, not more. I've only been living here for 1 year. سنة واحدة. One book. كتاب واحد. But give me one book. You can just say أعطيني كتاب. You don't need the number one. Counting two, you use the dual form. You put "in" at the end of as a suffix to the masculine noun, and "ten" as a suffix to a feminine noun that finishes with ta marbuta. In colloquial. In fusha, you have two cases. Masculine is an and ain. Feminine is tan and tain as suffix to the noun. You don't use the number itnain when counting two things. Counting from 3 to 10, you use the number plus the noun in the plural. From 3 up until and including 10, you use the plural of the noun with the number. So first the number, then the plural of the noun. And counting as of 11, you go back to singular. So the number and the singular noun. That's it. So the example questions, go ahead and listen to the example questions on the MP3 and learn them by heart. Good luck. بالتوفيق.